Hi everybody, my name is Ann. Thanks for tuning into Art on the Creek today. We are in my home studio in Parker, Colorado, and I've got a fun surprise to share with you. I had a company reach out to me called HOTU, and they sell these markers. They make these markers that are dual tip, chisel tip on one end, bullet tip on the other, and they've got this set of 100 here that is in this handy dandy little cube. We'll talk about the packaging in the video, but I just wanted to share with you that we are going to review these today, and I've got a little help from Tinkerbell. So get your magic wands out and let's go see what we can create. Are you ready? Let's get to it. Well, like I said, HOTU reached out to me to see if I would review their set of 100 markers. And I said, sure, why not? I like playing with markers. So let's open her up and let's see what's inside. Just got a little X-Acto knife here. Now, when this arrived to me, it came in a bigger box with protective packaging. So this was kind of like a box inside a box. And they're available on Amazon. So let's see what this is. Oh, it's a nice case. We just dump this out. There we are. And move some of this stuff out of the way. There we go. Okay. So HOTU art markers. There are 100 colors in here. The case is portable and it's not too cumbersome. It measures probably about, oh, what is that? Maybe 7 inches by 7 inches cube. Not that bad at all. And when we open it up, we see that there is, it feels almost like silicone. They're usually firmer than this. This is a protective sheet to put underneath your page so that it doesn't bleed through to the next page. So that's kind of cool. And these wash off really easily. So I like that that's a really soft and bendable. It's not going to crack and leave bumps. I like that very much. So let's see what it says about their markers here. Got another thing back here. What's this? What's this? Ooh, a swatch card. That's nice. I will have to fill all of these in for you so that you can compare and take a look at them. It looks like they've got an awful lot of colors in here, a really good range, as you can see. And they also have the colorless blender, which is so nice. The case, or it's an inner divider of some kind, yeah, there's 4 walls in here. I think you can see that in there. And it divides this into 4 sections so we can rearrange them by color family. And then this, does it come out? Yes, it does. Let's see if it's solid on the bottom. Let's take a look. Take a look. Yes, it is. It's all solid on the bottom. So this is a good little case to have, and it just fits right in here very nicely. So let me get this back in. The thing I like about this is that you can set it up like this and just have the storage good to go. So you can be all set with this, and this is probably the way I'll keep it on my shelf. And I won't need to buy another marker storage for that. So I really do like that. So there's that. They don't have individual pockets in here. They're just a section of them put in here. It's not in any kind of order. You can just slide these right around. Do you see what I mean? It's not like a grid. It's just these are all kind of loose in here, but they do have the divisions of 4. So that's good. And we have the swatch sheet, like I told you about. This paper feels like regular cardstock paper. There's no coating on it or anything. Slight coating on the back. It feels a little bit shinier on the back, but this feels like a typical paper that you might use for markers. And here is the little card about them, the HOTU dual tip markers, chisel and fine. So we have a bullet tip. You can barely see that, but there's a bullet tip on one side and a chisel tip on the other. And since you can barely see that, let's just show you on an actual marker. The fine tip is marked as such, and the chisel tip or broad is marked as such also. And they also have these little flanges on the end. It does definitely have a stop when it hits that flange against the table. So that's nice. Here is the broad tip. It's got a very nice chisel on it. There we go. Lots of bevels there to get all kinds of fine lines. And then the bullet tip. It is not a flexible nib. It's just a hard bullet tip. So those look pretty good. And what does it say here? Join our community. You can scan this QR code to join, and I will go ahead and hold that there in case you guys want to scan that to see what the website is like. You will get prompt response to product issues, timely drawing skills sharing, exclusive discounts and giveaways, and a chance to get an extended warranty. This product contains alcohol solvent, which is volatile and has a slight irritant odor. Let's smell it. Let's smell it. I didn't smell anything when I opened it before. Oh yeah, it smells like alcohol, but it doesn't have that really strong permanent marker smell. It's not bad at all. In fact, I didn't even notice it when I was just opening it there. Let's see. Non-toxic. When in use, make sure the cap is tightly closed. Yes, that's always true of all markers. During storage, keep away from open flames and direct sunlight. Due to differences in ink cap material, there might be some color variation, which is why it's always such a good idea to swatch, always, especially with markers. Let's see here. Due to color chart, refer to the color chart when using the marker. If one end of the marker appears to have insufficient ink, invert the pen for half an hour before using it again. Okay, so what's going on inside here? That's a good tip. Is you've got this barrel in the middle that has the ink in it. So let's say you go to color this and this end is not working. So what you would do is invert it this way and just let it stand there for about a half hour, and then that lets that ink run down into that nib, and you'll still be able to use this side. For the most part, that's why they typically say to store markers laying down so that both ends can maintain their juiciness. Let's see, number 4. It is advisable to use thicker paper such as marker paper or cardstock, or utilize the provided paper separator in the package to minimize the impact of ink bleed through. Okay, that's, it's pretty straightforward. Markers are a whole lot of fun, and I think we can go ahead and swatch these out, and then we can draw something. So I'll do some swatching here, and then we'll get into using this on some marker paper that I have, and we'll see how everything goes. Oh, I'm gonna have to sort these out first before I swatch them. So I'll be right back.
Again, until, of course, 24 hours later.
Yeah, as my daughter would say, that took a minute. Next day, so here we are, and I'm all ready to set these up. I just put them in the same order that the swatch sheet goes in because that's fine for me. I'm really not that particular about color order. I just need to know kind of general area where I can find something. So I've basically got 5 rows of 5 in each little quadrant here for a total of 100 markers. And sure enough, I guarantee you I'm going to make a mistake, but let's take a look at the swatch sheet, and it looks like we can just really simply start this off here with the very first one. You can see in my left hand there, the bullet tip has that gray ring around it, like I mentioned in the beginning, and the chisel is on the opposite end. I'm going to try and do all of these in a chisel, and we will speed this up so you guys don't have to be bored watching all of the capping and uncapping, but we're just going to go ahead and get these swatched. I'm going to go 3 swipes with each marker. So let's speed it up and let's have some fun. And you know what? I did have fun because look what happened. The cap posts! Yay! It's my favorite thing in the world. Oh, wouldn't you know it, I transposed these two. So I'm the only one that's going to be using this color chart. It's okay. I'm just going to draw a line through here and correct what I did so I don't have to redo these 2 swatches. And let's cross my fingers and hope that I don't make another mistake. that didn't take long. I'm going to mark my place here where I made the mistake, and I'll come back and fix it in just a little bit. Well, you guys, I can honestly say I am one happy camper. These went down beautifully. They have so much ink in them. They're really easy to use. They're right on par with every other marker that I've ever tried. And I really like them. So I'm excited to use them. Let's see what we can come up with Tinkerbell. There we go. I think that'll do. And let's see what kind of color I want to start with. I really love the greens that are in there. They're such a great selection of greens. In fact, I really like all of the color ranges. I'm not wanting for anything. What I want to do first is lightly erase my lines because I don't want the pencil lines to show up too much. And let's put this sheet protector behind here so that so we can have that. And you know what? It's not a big bump. I'm not really feeling anything. So let's get going and let's have a whole lot of fun with this. Now I know that this is sped up, but it's not really meant to be a tutorial on how to use these markers. That'll be for another day. But what I really want you to notice here today with this demonstration and review is how easy they are to use and how well these colors blend together. Now the paper that I'm using, paper does matter whenever you're using any kind of art medium, but this paper is the B marker paper. I really like it. It works very well with markers and inks, and I've never had any issues with it. I want you to see here, we're going to use the colorless blender in just a moment. You can kind of see all the lines there when I went over with that third marker, and now I've got the colorless blender out. And watch what happens when I work this in and really blend all of these colors together so that they can have just kind of a nice, soft, layered look to them, and they'll really become more cohesive. You'll still be able to see all of the colors that I put down, just like you would with watercolor, but they'll blend very easily and you won't see any of the lines as much. They won't stand out as much after I've used the colorless blender. So really easy to use, a whole lot of fun. And another little side tip for you, by the way, if you didn't know, those colorless blenders also work to blend colored pencil. So if you end up with one of those and that's not the way you like to do your marker art, maybe try it on blending your colored pencils. You might like that. Let's talk about cost here. These markers, this particular set of 100 is only 39.9 cents, so 40 cents each per marker. There's also a coupon available on Amazon, and I will link to a coupon in the description too. HOTU was kind enough to extend that on to you guys, my viewers. So if you go through that link, I thank you very much, and there will be a nice discount down there for you. Let's talk about name brand markers and why would you buy these? What's the upside to these? Well, Copic is the brand standard. Many of you know of those. You've heard of them. They have the Copic standard markers and the Copic Chow. The standard ones retail for $7.99 a piece. A piece. I found them on Blick for $5.85 each, which is frankly why I don't have Copic markers unless they come in an art subscription kit. They are too expensive in my mind. HOTU, 97 cents each, which is a great price, but it's not as inexpensive as these, and I will tell you, they perform identically. I have another brand that I purchased, a set of, I think it was 120, Cali Art. They were 41 cents each, so still more expensive than these. These are, to my knowledge, right now, the most affordable alcohol markers on the market that are completely comparable with the HOTU, the Artex, all of those brands that you would encounter looking for an entry-level set of markers. I don't think they're sold individually. However, once you finish the ink, you can refill it with whatever refillable ink you want to. The nibs just pull out. You might need to use a pair of tweezers, but they just pull out. So you can go ahead and refill these if you want to. You might have to re-swatch things to get your the colors exactly back to what you've refilled it with. But you know, that's a really small ask, and these markers are so comfortable to hold. I really like the size. They're nice and thick. My hands are really arthritic, and this was very easy for me to use. I didn't get tired at all. The caps, easy on, easy off. They click really well. It's a very satisfying click, so you know that you've got it closed, which is really important when you're dealing with markers because, as you know, they can dry out. So let's just finish up Tinkerbell here, and I will let you guys enjoy this process, and we will reconnect at the end of the video. Well, now that Tinkerbell is all finished, I just want to take a look at the protective sheet that they gave us. So you can see, I hope, the shiny parts where, like right there, where there's a little bit of a shiny, and here you can see, I hope, that there's a little bit of a cast from the green when I blended her dress. So what it did is it protected the next page, which is great, pretty self-explanatory, but it's a good idea to have this, and it's very nice, very flexible. I really like that it is so flexible because it won't crease. Sometimes they give you a harder sheet of plastic and then it gets all wrinkled and creases. This one is going to stay nice and pliable. So let's just try real quick to clean it if we can. I've got some rubbing alcohol here. This should work. Let's find out. Clean as a whistle. See, all those shiny spots are gone. I will put it over white paper again so that you guys can see how clean that is. That came right off with just some rubbing alcohol. So we're good to go. We're ready for the next project. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed watching me create Tinkerbell, a little sped up version. I've never drawn her before. She looks a little older. I've aged her. Sorry, Tink. You're not as cute as you are here on the cup, but that's okay. I've never drawn Tinkerbell before. But what I can say about these markers is that they blend effortlessly. The color selection is great. There's just a perfect array in here. You really wouldn't need to add anything. I didn't feel like I was lacking for any color at all. So I'm thrilled. I think these are great. If you want to get into marker art and discover some of the fun things that you can do with markers, HOTU might be a great place to start. Really affordable set. I'll put a link in the description and you guys can check that out. Thanks again, you guys, for hanging out with me today. I hope you really enjoyed this sped up demonstration and swatching of the HOTU markers creating Tinkerbell. What will you guys create with these? Let me know in the comments, and have a great creative weekend. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye now.